Ashoka, after his spiritual transformation, was focused solely on the well-being of his subjects. The emperor was at the helm of the administration, following the established model put forward by Marian kings before Ashoka. He was closely assisted in his administrative duties by his younger brother Vita Ashoka and a group of trusted ministers whom Ashoka consulted before adopting any new administrative policy. The most important members of this adversary council included the Yuvarachara, the Mahamantri, the Senpati, and the Purohita. Ashoka's reign saw introduction of a large number of benevolent policies as compared to his predecessors. He adopted a paternalistic view on administration and proclaimed all men are my children, as evident from the Kalinga Edict. He also expressed his indebtedness to his subjects for bestowing with their love and respect, and that he considered his duty to serve for their greater good. His kingdom was divided into.
That's good. That's good. Stop right there. Summarize what you just read.
Okay, so basically they were talking about Ahsoka's administration after his spiritual transformation, and then they were talking about like all the people that that were close to him that helped him out the most in his administration, and um, uh, let's see how he appreciated all of his uh, people or subjects that helped him in his administration, and yeah, and his policies too.
Good. That's good. So basically, to him, he said that he for his duty is to express, to offer the love and respect, and consider that his duty to serve the people for the greater good. The whole idea here. That means all the policy that he changed toward this mission, toward to benefit others. That's important. Yeah, due to his spiritual transformation, that like you said. That's good. Brian.
Yes.
Where is one gone? The bottom one.
Okay. His kingdom was divided into pradesha or provinces, which were subdivided into vishas or subdivisions, and janapadas, which were further subdivided into villages. The five chief provinces were under Asoka's reign were the Uttarapatha Northern Province, with its capital at Taxila, Avantiratha Western Province, with his headquarters at Ujjain, Prachapatha Eastern Province, with its center at Tashali, and the Dakshinapatha Southern Province, with its capital as Suvangarguri, a central province. Magadha, with its capital at Patalipura, was the administrative center of the empire. Each province was granted partial autonomy at the hand of a crowned prince who was responsible for controlling the overall law enforcement. But the emperor himself retained much of the financial and administrative controls. These provincial heads were altered from time to time to prevent any one of them exerting power over a long time to for a long period of time. He appointed several pativdikas or reporters who would report to him the general and public affairs, leading to the king to take necessary steps.
Okay, good. Tell me that. Okay, summarize what you learned from it.
There were many provinces and subdivisions in the provinces or villages, and every single province had a prince, I think, and they would um, all be a part of controlling overall law enforcement. But the emperor had the most power.
Right. So basically, he divided his country into many provinces and many villages, and each province they have their own rule, right? Partial autonomy. That means just like United States, we have 50 states, right? Each state we have a governor, and under each state they have their own rule, right? So it's similar in the way. It's similar in the way, and also the governor were elected by people, right? Only for the certain period of time. That means they will not be for one position too long, right? That's what here he mentioned in here that he altered the head of the province one in a while to make sure that then none of them to be stay there for a long time. That's the whole idea. This is how he managed his country. So for the whole idea is to benefit the people, because when we have the one to control the province for a long time, it becomes a dictator, and that means it's not good for the people. It will become corrupted. That's what he did not want. Okay, so that's good. Megan.
Yes.
Not belong at the beginning.
From the beginning.
Okay, I think you have to sit a little bit far from your brother. Somehow you guys near, you will have the background noise. Are you far from him?
My sister is downstairs and I am upstairs.
Okay, that should be okay then. And only one device connected. Okay, that's good. Megan, go ahead and try it.
From the top.
Yeah.
Although Ashoka built his empire on the principles of nonviolence, he followed the instructions outlined in the Arthashastra for the characters of the perfect king. He introduced legal reforms like Danda, Samahara, and Varahara and Samahara, clearly pointing out to his subjects the way of life. This is to be led by them. The overall judicial and administration were overseen by amatiyas and civil servants, whose functions were clearly delineated by the emperor. The Akshapataladhika was in charge of currency and accounts of the entire administration. The Akarad was in charge of mining and other metallurgical and inverters. The Sulfat Hikes was in charge of collecting taxes. Was controller of commerce. Was in charge of agriculture. The empire employed a network of spies who offered him tactical advantages in diplomatic matters. The administration conducted regular census along with other information as caste and occupation.
Good. Stop it there. Okay. All right. So, what you understand from here?
Well, it looks like Ashoka built his empires um, for non violence in this empire, and he assigned different people for different things. Like there was one of them that was for currency, and another one was for like doing chores like mining, and another one was for collecting taxes. So it kind of looked like um, that he wanted to be very organized for different jobs for different people. So he built this empire for nonviolence, but other people still had jobs.
Good, that's good, that's good. Thank you, Ma. So basically, in here, that Ashoka want to lay out the model for himself to become the perfect king. This is for him to become the perfect king. That means it's no violence, and the way he do it, he attire certain major component to specific people, right? So each one they have a certain task to do. For example, the controller relate to the finance, collecting tax. That means that another person taking care of that. Or agriculture is also important to the country. So all the important country function is assigned to the different people. So not no one can have all the power for all the things, right? That means each one of them have only one function or one power over that, but not one have take care of all different functions together. That's important. That means he don't want that to happen. Okay. Okay. All right. Let's see. Okay. Baywin, go ahead. Baywin. Baywin, are you there? Win, are you there? I did not hear you. Okay, Nicholas,
Yes.
we'll read from beginning.
Ashoka made Buddhism the state religion around 260 BC. He was perhaps the first emperor in history of India who tried to establish a Buddhist pol- what?
Polity.
polity by implementing the Dai Daisa Raja Dharma, or the 10 precepts outlined by Lord Buddha himself as the duty of a perfect ruler. They are enumerated as to be liberal and avoid selfishness, to maintain a high moral character, to be prepared to sacrifice one's own pleasure for the well-being of the subjects, to be honest and maintain absolute integrity, to be kind and gentle, to lead a simple life for the subjects to emulate, to be free from hatred of any kind, to exercise nonviolence, to practice patience, to respect public opinion, to promote peace and harmony.
Mm.
Do I
Right.
read that too?
Yeah.
Based on these 10 principles preached by Lord Buddha, Ashoka dictated the practice of Dharma that became the backbone of his philanthropic and tolerant administration. Dharma was neither a new religion nor a new political philosophy. It was a way of life, outlined in a code of conduct and a set of principles that he encouraged his subjects to adopt to lead a peaceful and prosperous life. He undertook the propagation of these philosophies through publications of 14 edicts that he spread out throughout the empire.
Okay. Do you know what is the word edict? I mean,
No.
that means it come from the king. That means he the one who give the order. Just like an order for the king order. This is what we call edict. Okay. 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 Summarize what you learned. Nicholas, I could not hear you, but
Yes.
summarize it.
Well, basically, Ashoka spread his religion throughout the empire in around 260 BC, and then it just lists like the 10 policies that he had in the religion.
Okay, that means yeah, he have he follow the 10 precepts, right? And this is how it works. And also he encouraged other people to do the same, right? So to benefit that means he sacrificed himself, right? The pleasure, that means he sacrificed his own pleasure for the well-being of the subject. And to maintain the highest integrity and, and non-violent, and have to be patient and also respect the public opinion. That means he willing to listen to the people, right? To enhance the morality, to enhance the ethic, that make him to become perfect. Okay, that's good. Now I will. Did I show you the movie last time yet, Khoa? 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 Are you there, Khoa? Hmm. Did I show you the movie? Anyone? Nicholas, did I show you the movie? Last time?
Yes.
Yes, two movie, right? I think so. I think I saw you two movies.
Yes.
Okay, all right. All right, let me stop right here. I will show you the eight consciousness, how the mind works for the bad people, as well as you learn the Buddhist psychology in here too. Okay. Uh, okay. All right. Khóa Mai Quyên, are you there? Christina Võ, go ahead, read at the beginning.
Ashoka was the Indian most brutal emperor. After 200 years, Buddha passed away, who has conquered almost the entire Indian continental and killed so many people during his first 8-year reign. After he took over the throne, he killed all of his half-brothers due to the struggle for power. Ashoka launched the last battle to conquer Kalinga during 265 BC, and he killed so many people. In this battle, he had destroyed almost everything.
Read the next one.
How does a bad person's mind like Ashoka work? Since Ashoka was a kid, the king did not have any interest in him due to his mother's low position. Therefore, he would spend most of his time in martial arts, military, and weaponry practices with the ambition of one day getting the king's attention. This implied violence. When he was practicing, his eyes contact martial arts objects such as weapons, horses, environment, and pretended opponents. His ears were possibly contact with many different sounds, and his body had direct contacts such as hands with weapons and other objects. Thus, the eye consciousness sent those images of the form objects to the mind consciousness, the brain. The ear consciousness sent the images of the sound objects to the mind consciousness, and also the body consciousness sent the images of touching objects to the mind consciousness, and the mind consciousness loaded all those images objects into the short-term memory. Now the information becomes available for the following functions: processing, visualization, thinking, contemplation, analysis, planning, strategy, greed, hatred, ignorance, ambition, and etc. These functions are to both bad and good thoughts. His mentality always wanted to compete with others and to be the best. Therefore, his mind consciousness could trigger more than one function from above simultaneously, which would usually create more than one inquiry. The mono consciousness grabs all the information from the short-term memory and those inquiries and pushes them into the alaya consciousness for storage as knowledge, experience, and inquiries. The alaya consciousness performs the search for those inquiries. Once
Okay,
this,
stop it there. You understand so far?
kind of.
Tell me what you understand.
So it starts off with how as a kid, Ashoka didn't get enough attention from the king, and so he started spending most of his time in martial arts, military, and weaponry. And his eyes, ears, and body contacted like those things, and yeah.
Mm. So when you look at this model, you understand what you said, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So from this model, what do you understand from this? What you just read?
So his eyes contacted the weapons or the other stuff, and that went into his mind consciousness, which then went to his mana consciousness, and then went to the Laya consciousness, and then went back.
Mm. Okay. Okay, that's good. And the body, that means he using the weapon to practice. That means the body contact. That means the touch the weapon, right? So so all this thing here, the ear, the eye, that means the form in this case, that means the could be the weapon, the object that he used for example, could be the pretended opponent, right? Or and the sound could be all kind of sound. He listened to all kind of sound as well. The weapon that he touched. All those things here look into his consciousness, the mind consciousness, the memory. Um, to the eye consonant, to the ear consonant, and to the body consonant. It send all those objects to the mind consonant. And when the mind consonant have it, it look into the memory, and that's why the mind can be able to see the data clearly. They can be able to, based on the data available, they can be able to think, to plan, to strategy, to the mind become weak, hatred or whatever, right? And the mind also can be able to have some kind of ambition, right? The mind can be both good or bad, right? Due to the data unloaded inside the memory. So the man, and here when he practiced, he also, because he had the mentality about want to compete with the other, he want to become the best, right? Due to that, that means when the data inside the memory become available, he come up with a lot of questions inside his mind that he want to master whatever he study, right? Whatever he practice, he try to know all how to master all those skills. So when he come up with those inquiry, and the man consciousness will take all the data from the memory, include whatever the information here, include inquiry. It will put to the Alaya consciousness, it become the Alaya, that it become the knowledge, the experience, right? Um, tell me, do you understand so far?
Yes, I understand.
Is that easy to understand?
Yes.
Good, that's good. Nathan, do you understand so far? Khoa,
A
Nathan?
bit. Yeah.
Okay, Khoa?
Yeah.
Okay, okay. Good. Now, Nathan, you help me to read the next one here. Next, okay. Once the search result, right? Okay, hold up. You start from here. The Alaya consonant perform the search.
The Alaya consciousness performs the search for those inquiries. Once the search results become available, the consciousness passes to the mana consciousness, and this is where our emotions arises, weak or strong, depending on the result. The mana consciousness gives the results to the mind consciousness, where it loads them into the short-term memory, and the information becomes available for the following functions: processing, visualization, thinking, contemplation, analysis, planning, strategy, greed, hatred, ignorance, ambition, and etc. The mind consciousness informs the first five: consciousness, mouth, and body, to be able to distinguish and to act accordingly to the mind consciousness. Since Ahsoka's mentality was very violent, brutal, easy getting angry, and always wanted to be the number one, he could be willing to do any bad thing for his ambition, including killing his own siblings. In his mind consciousness, short-term memory, he usually had a lot of greed, hatred, planning, and strategy for his ambition. Also, his mind consciousness arises many inquiries of evil thoughts. The mana consciousness pushes all those information into Alaya.
Yeah, go ahead.
Consciousness for storage and searching for the inquiries. Each time the mana pushes the bad information into Alaya consciousness, which causes the Alaya consciousness to have a lot of that evil information that makes him become even worse. When Alaya consciousness passes through the result over to the mana consciousness, that triggers his emotions to arise strongly and violent, that could control his mind consciousness, not thinking properly. The mana consciousness passes them over to the mind consciousness, which loads them into the short-term memory, and the information becomes available for the following functions: processing, visualization, thinking, contemplation, analysis, planning, strategy, greed, hatred, ignorance, ambition, and etc. The information in the short-term memory causes him to have evil and brutal decisions for others. His mind consciousness informs the first five: consciousness, mouth, and body, to act violently.
Do you understand so far?
Yeah.
Okay, then now you help me to complete the cycle. That means from the Alaya, right? They do the searching, right? How do they go back? Nathan?
Hold on.
Mm. Okay. Henry, you want to help him?
Can you repeat the question again, please?
Okay, from the Alaya, that means the Alaya searching for perform the searching for the inquiry, right? And from there, how this thing Alaya send the data back to here, and to trigger the file, the first file continue to perform. That means the mind and the body to perform evilly. How that thing works?
Okay. So since he was so bad and had such evil thoughts all the time, when something happened, his storehouse would automatically trigger more bad thoughts and actions, and that would put it into the monoconsciousness, which would bring his emotions to aggression or to act out, which in turn goes to the brain, which makes his mind be evil, and then out of the evil intent, his body would react in that way.
Yeah, very good. Okay, basically, it's Alaya consonant. When they get all kind of inquiry from remember, inquiry only come from the six consonant, because the mind consonant be able to think. The seven consonant cannot think. Remember that. That the difference between the two is the seven consonant is just the emotion. They cannot think. Emotion part is not thinking. Okay, emotion, that means we react by instant, right? By instant. That means by our own instant. That means it have no memory. But the mind consonant, they have the memory, so it will take time to think. That's why the mind consonant is the most flavor one, very smart. Throughout all of the eight consonants, this is the most flavor, level. That means CLAEVER, level, most intelligent one. But due to that kind of intelligence, that the mind consciousness is the most evil decision maker, as well as the most good decision maker. That means good or bad come from the mind. Remember that. Because the mind is the one who makes the decision. That's why it trigger the first 5 cents. That means the body and the mouth. This first 5 cents here, it represents the body and the mouth to do to speak evilly, to act evilly, but according to the mind. That's important. So let's say that means when he have a lot of evil thought right in the mind, and those kind of evil inquiry will be put down by the mana into the alaya consonant, and the alaya consonant will perform the searching and get the search result and give back to the mana consonant. When the mana consonant get the result, you know what happened? The mana will have the very strong emotion. This is the emotion come up right away. That means we cannot think, because the mana consonant is not for what we think. Okay, this is just the emotion. When it becomes so strong, right, it will control our mind. Remember that. So that means usually it will control his mind, right? That means all the result, usually they have all the violence, all the evil that he have from the alaya consonant will be locked inside the memory. Therefore, the mind consonant will have the evil thinking, that he make the evil decision. And that's why it trigger the first 5 consonant to perform the action, that means the mouth and the body, to act evilly. So this is important. So we have, from this learning, we need to be careful, because our mind is very powerful. What we take in, and that's what we are. If we take in a good thing, we are good. If we take in a lot of bad things, we are really bad, right? So be careful. So and also, when you play game, you take in a lot of those things. You have to be careful, because that will make you. Sometimes you don't want that, right? It will make you become not a good person. Okay, due to whatever you put in here, good or bad, depend on what you take in from the first 5 cents and you put in here. That makes you good or bad. Okay. Does that make sense to Johnson? You understand so far? Megan, you understand?
Yeah, I understand.
Megan, it is easy to understand? Okay, the mind is very powerful. Ryan, you understand this one, right?
Yes.
The mind is very powerful. We have to be very careful. to put in what we only put in the good thing, not the bad thing. Wing, you understand, Con? Wing, are you there?
Yes.
Okay, that's good. And you will not be able to learn this thing out there. Not many people can teach you this. The reason I'm saying this is a very rare opportunity for you to learn. So if you know how to take advantage of learning, and that will help you to have wisdom. Okay, that's how you become wise. Otherwise, the one who is intelligent, do you think that they can be wise, Ryan?
No.
The one who even though the one who have the most highest IQ, right?
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't mean they are very intelligent, but they are not wise. You know why? You know why they are not wise? What makes them become wise?
I forgot.
Okay, Johnson, you understand? What makes us to become wise?
What makes us to become wise?
Yeah, well, in the behavior, what makes us to become wise compared to the other? I'm talking about the behavior.
The behavior, like the way we act and stuff like that.
Well, yeah.
So,
I know, but how do we look at the person? This person is white, the other person is not white. Not
well, I don't know how to explain to like physically see someone that's wise. I don't know.
Okay, tell me, what do you think? How when we look at the person and the way they behave, the way they act, how do you know that this is the person act wisely and this person is not act wisely?
Just so by the way, if they're not reacting, so someone that's reacting is not being wise, but somebody that sits back and is more observant, and then can comment on something without reacting, no matter what's happening, no matter how aggressive somebody's being towards them. If they're able to not react, then that is wisdom. And to become wise, you have to tap into your Buddha nature. And I believe to do that, you have to have good teachers that are able to show you and explain to you, just like you all do here at the temple, the benefits, and just kind of explain exactly the Dharma. So you have like the handbook of life and know better how things work and how not to react through the storehouse, and how to water the storehouse with goodness rather than negativity.
Okay, all right, that's good. Since that is exactly that's what I want to say. You give me that is a very good answer. Okay, basically, when we deal with our own emotion, right? If we react, that means we go with the mana consonant, and the mana consonant that means emotional affliction. This is usually most of us will be stuck with this one, right? Because due to the self. Yes, the person who very intelligent, that means they are very proud of themselves. That means they are very ego, they are very self-centered, right? Ego-centered or self-centered. Therefore, usually they react by their emotion that make them not wise. Just like Tammy said. But you know what? When the emotion come up, right? We also know that emotion come up, and we be able to calm our mind through the model. Later on, I will teach you this model. Some of you already learned, but this model help us to recognize the emotion come up, especially for the anger. Once you recognize it, and you will train yourself to become the observer instead of become the reactor, right? You don't want to become the reactor, because when you reactor, that means you react to your emotion. That makes us not wise. But when you become the observer, you observe your emotion and you see the emotion come up and down. That's how make you wise, because you not react to the emotion, but you observe that. And that's why you'll be able to think properly. And when you think properly, positively, that's why you will have the positive acting, the mouth speak properly, and the body act properly due to the positive perception. Does that make sense to you, anyone? Nathan, you understand so far? Johnson? So, in order to become wise, don't react, to become the observer. If we react, even though we have the very high IQ, we still not wise. Okay? All right, thank you. Let's stop right here. That is very good discussion. Okay, next week we'll continue on the story, as well as we will also work with the Buddhist psychology and the mind, how this works. I hope everyone can enjoy it. Okay. Okay, Baby, go ahead. Oh no, sorry, not here. I mean not here. I mean this.
May every living being, our minds as one and radiant with light, share the fruits of peace with heart of goodness, luminous and bright. If people hear and see how hands and hearts can find in giving unity, may their minds awake to great compassion, wisdom, and to joy. May kindness find reward, may all who sorrow leave their grief and pain. May this boundless light break the darkness of their endless night, because our hearts are one. This world of pain turns into paradise. May all become compassionate and wise. May all become compassionate and wise.
Oh, thank you very much. Good. Thank you. All right. No more your book. I wish everyone have a good weekend. See you next week. Thank you.
Thai.
Come on, Thai.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to vacation tomorrow, and my parents and their friends, they keep changing their plans. So I'm not really sure if we're gonna come to the Zoom next week, but I'll try. I'll try as my best to
But
join.
if you at your whenever you go, if the location allow you to have the Wi-Fi, if you be able to connect, and
Yeah.
that's good. If not, then what can we do, right? But try the best that not to skip the class, because did you see the benefit you learn from here?
Yeah.
I want you to learn to gain the wisdom. Okay, so this is the most important, because later on when you grow up, you deal with all kind of stress and depress. If you don't understand the Buddhist psychology, how you deal with the emotion.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is important. So I encourage you and your sister to join the class so you can learn a lot of things. So this is not easy to learn. It's not many people can teach you this. So take advantage. Okay. Okay. Thank you for your let me know. That's good. But you only go vacation only next week, right? But you come back the week after that.
Yeah, I'm just going to go from Sunday to Sunday. So just 1 week.
Okay, so 1 week. If you make it, that's good. If not make it, then what can we do? But you come back the week after that, okay?
Yeah, most definitely.
Yeah, but usually you receive my email, right? Do you?
Yeah, I receive the email all the time. Like,
okay, good. That's good. That's good. That's good. That's good. I just want to make sure that you receive the email. Good. Thank you.
okay.
Bye.
How you the fuck, Thai?
Thank you. Bye. Bye, Megan.